Hello and welcome to our Flow and Restore yoga practice. My name is Michelle Chua, and for this practice, you may want to have the following props. As you see here, 2 blocks, a strap, a bolster, and a blanket, or anything that you can use from home that can act like any of these props. Let's start in a comfortable way to turn open the thighs and bring the legs in front of you in seated position. You may want to prop your pelvis up on any of your props so that you can allow the hips to relax and the thighs to drop open more easily. As this week, we're going to continue our physical focus on bringing the thighs into external rotation, sometimes called hip opening postures, and in wide-legged positions. We also had a request to release tension in the lower back. So physically, we'll put in some of that. And philosophically, this week's theme has been harmony. And the question I ask is, how do you cultivate harmony within yourself, especially through the many practices of yoga and mindfulness that we move through, so that you affect harmony with the life that is surrounding you? As I truly believe that all that we want to see outside, peace, harmony, love, joy, needs to start with our inner work. And our yoga practice, as many of you know who've been practicing for many years, is not just about the physical realm. It's about working with our minds, our spiritual wellness, our emotional, mental wellness, and all these different dimensions of our being. How do we hold space for the wide range of them? There is a concept in Japanese culture that we highlighted in our last forest bathing excursion called wabi-sabi. And it can be defined as finding the beauty in imperfection. And as humans, we are inherently imperfect. No matter how hard we strive to be so-called perfect. What is that anyway? So, how do we hold space for ourselves when we're not feeling so perfect? When we're working with injury, when we're working with depression, when we're working with challenges in our lives in any areas. We bring all of what's going on in our different relationships, our lives, with us wherever we are, including our practice. So why not allow our practice to be a place where we can unpack and bring some grace in how we treat ourselves, right? Really bring some grace. So let's begin by checking in. You might close the eyes as you start to observe what you're feeling in your physical body through all kinds of sensations, where you feel tension, where you feel openness. Again, holding space for the wide range of it. And as we let go of judging what we observe or even judging ourselves, we can be more open to what's happening right now. We can see it more clearly. Notice how your energy feels by witnessing the breath move in and out. No need to control it or change it. As you acknowledge what your energy level is at right now, how will you harmonize with that? Meet yourself there, not pushing or resisting or ignoring, but holding space for it. Let's start to notice our heart minds. What is your mental, emotional state right now? Is there anything that your heart is asking you to hold space for? Any layers of emotions, feelings? And as you feel the surface that is literally holding your body here, allow a deeper inhalation. Then open the mouth to empty the breath. And let yourself exhale through the mouth a few more times, with each inhalation becoming a little bit deeper. Notice where you can feel the breath move and expand. As you continue to deepen your breath, I invite you to acknowledge someone or something in any area of your life that you feel gratitude for. Knowing how powerful gratitude is, especially as a regular practice, to awaken our heart minds. And now, what is your intention for your practice today? What is your personal prayer? Is there a specific something that you are creating in your life right now, or a shift that you're inviting? Or maybe there's a general quality, a feeling tone that you would like to reiterate or bring about into your experience. And then think of those around you. Is there someone or a group of someones that you would like to extend loving kindness to by dedicating this practice to them? And together, let's open the practice, chanting in support of each other, the sound of interconnection, Om, 3 times. Let in a deep breath. Nurturing deep breaths. Let's start to practice a technique called Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breathing. It's a way to balance our energy while inviting calm and focus. So breathing with the mouth closed, if you can, so just through the nose, which helps to warm up your body. Start to create a whispering sound to the breath by gently narrowing the back of your throat. As you listen to that sound, fine-tune your breathing, that it's slow in, slow out, even in both directions. And there's a smooth quality, a calmness, a steadiness to your breathing. And try to keep nurturing those qualities in the breath throughout our physical practice, especially the first half, the vinyasa flow, as we move to the breath. So listening to your breathing, start to gently rise up to stand at the top of your mat in mountain pose. You may want to have a couple of blocks in front of your mat, especially if the floor feels too low. You can press your hands on blocks instead of the ground when we move through our sun salutations. Excuse me here. And then from here, set your feet apart, hips distance, parallel to each other. And join your hands in prayer at your heart center, standing tall and rooted. Connect to the energy, the feeling tone of what you're cultivating in this practice. Let's bring that into how we move our bodies, to our breaths. as we offer gratitude to the brilliant sun and all his blessings. In sun salutation C. As you breathe in, sweep your arms forward and lift your heart towards the sun, rolling the shoulders back and down. As you breathe out, hinge forward from your hips. Lower your fingertips on the earth and inhale, step the left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge and look up. Holding your breath, step into your version of plank pose. As you exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward and soften your shoulders back into Cobra. Exhale, press up to plank pose, top of a push-up, and lift your hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Rooting down through your soles. Inhale, rise, lifting your heart towards the sun again. Exhale, gather your palms in prayer at your heart center. Second side of Surya Namaskar C. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow towards the earth in Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips on the ground, and this time, inhale, step the right knee back in Anjaneyasana, gazing up. Hold your breath as you step to plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, then chest, then chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward and slide the shoulders down the back in Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Exhale, press up into plank and lift your hips into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee and look up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Rooting down to your feet. Inhale, rise, find a gentle back bend as you stand. Exhale, recenter your palms in prayer in mountain pose. Let's continue to flow, offering gratitude in sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, lift your heart towards the open sky. Exhale, bow towards the earth. Press your hands on your shins, 2 blocks or the ground. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward to half forward fold. Step into your version of plank, and this time consider gliding forward. Graze your elbows by your ribs and lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let's spend a few deep breaths here, moving your body any way you might need to loosen up, such as pedaling your feet in place, maybe swiveling your hips side to side, or loosening your neck by shaking and nodding your head. Tune in to the qualities of your breath. So adding on, inhale, sweep your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bend your right knee and turn out your right thigh at the hip. Inhale, draw the left hip further back. Exhale, bend your right knee towards your nose and softly step your right foot beside your right thumb. Stay in a high lunge, then inhale, rise up to crescent pose. Pausing here, you might find it helpful to bend your back knee so that your pelvic bowl is sitting upright rather than tilting forward. Square both of your frontal hip bones to face forward. And let your eyes rest on one focal point for 2 more breaths. On an exhale, turn to your left in Warrior Two, aligning your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Open your arms wide. Let's flow here. Equally press down through both feet as you inhale, straighten the legs and raise your arms overhead, stretching up and down the spine. Exhale, rebend the right knee and open the arms, Warrior Two. Twice more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Warrior Two. Now let's pause in Warrior Two for a few more breaths, letting your eyes rest on one focal point as you listen to the flow of your breathing. Inhale, straighten your legs, raise your arms again. This time, shorten your stance a couple of inches for triangle pose. Glide your hips sideways towards the back wall and lengthen your torso towards the front wall, lowering your right hand on your right leg, just not on the knee, or to the right of the shin, either on the block or the floor. Wrap your right outer hip underneath you so that you're splaying the right knee towards the right pinky toe. As you firm the top of your left thigh bone back, spreading wide across the arms, slide your shoulder blades down your back ribs and spin your chest slightly to face the sky, letting your eyes land on one focal point for a few more breaths in Trikonasana. Gaze at the ground ahead of your right foot and let's prepare for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Listen to your breathing, keep it steady, and walk your right hand about 6 inches forward of your right pinky toe out to the right corner on a block or the ground. Flex your left foot off the earth and turn your chest open to the left, recreating the shape of triangle pose. If there's another version of this posture you'd like to explore, such as Ardha Chandra Chapasana, feel free to play with it. One more deep breath. Slow and steady. On an exhale, step back into Warrior Two. Pause for an inhalation. Then ride the wave of your exhalation down into plank and into your vinyasa or a few cat-cows. Downward facing dog. Let your body be still for 2 deep breaths. Notice the sensations you're feeling. Rooting into the earth with your fingers spread. Inhale, sweep your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend your left knee and turn out your left thigh at the hip. Inhale, draw your right outer hip back. Exhale, bend your left knee towards your nose as you round forward to plank. Quietly step the left foot beside your left thumb in a high lunge. Separate your feet hips width apart, parallel, and inhale to rise into crescent lunge. Pelvis sitting upright, you might find it helpful to bend the right knee. Square your 2 hips to face forward and let your eyes rest. Relax into your breathing for a few more breaths. On your next exhale, open up to your right side in Warrior Two, aligning your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot. Opening the arms, equally press down through both feet, and inhale, straighten your left leg, raise your arms and lengthen your spine. Keep lengthening, and exhale, bend the left knee again, Warrior Two. Twice more to the breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Warrior Two. Now let your eyes steady. Few breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, rise up. Shorten your stance a couple of inches for triangle pose. With legs straight, open the arms and glide your hips sideways towards your rear wall, lengthening your torso forward. Lower the left hand onto your left leg or just to the left of the shin, directly under your shoulder stacked. Draw the crease of your left hip back towards your right outer heel as you continue to lengthen the top of your head forward while sliding your shoulder blades down your back ribs. Find a small twist where you're spiraling your chest slightly to face the sky as you steady your gaze or drishti for a few more breaths. Trikonasana. Now let's take the same posture and tilt it onto one foot, balancing in half moon pose. Take your time transitioning. Notice your breathing. Gaze at the ground ahead of your left foot. Crawl your left fingertips upper left corner of that foot and drag your right foot forward, flexing it off the ground. Feel the shape of triangle and continue to ground and expand with each new breath. Ardha Chandrasana. And if you played with a different version of this posture on your first side, you might explore that here. Take your time with a slow exhalation to gently step back into Warrior Two. Pause for an inhale. And this time, stay in this wide-legged position and straighten your legs, parallel your feet. Let's come into a wide-legged forward fold, bringing the hands behind your back to clasp. If you can, hug the heels of your palms together like this, or hold the strap between your hands. As you breathe in, draw your shoulders back and down. As you breathe out, start to hinge forward from your hips and glide your pelvis forward to align with your ankles rather than letting the hips be behind the ankles. You can bend your knees any amount to allow your spine to fully unwind so that you're not rounding your back. Breath by breath, stretch the arms forward away from your lower back. And with a slight bend in your elbows, see if you can float your shoulders up away from your neck, letting your head fall freely. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, come up halfway, and lower your fingertips on blocks or the floor. Continue to fold in to your capacity for a few more breaths. Keep lengthening your neck by pressing down with your hands and lifting your shoulders up. Some of you might have a tripod headstand in your practice. You're welcome to enter that and maybe play with a wide-legged version. And when you have your 2 feet rooted into the earth, crawl your fingertips forward, come up halfway, then bend your knees. Place your hands on your hips, pointing the elbows towards the sky. Lead with your chest and inhale to slowly rise. Now from your hip sockets, externally rotate both thigh bones and bend your knees apart into a wide-legged squat, sometimes called goddess pose or full moon pose. So more important than, well, let's make sure that your kneecaps are pointing in alignment with your middle toes. And slightly lift your frontal hip bones so the pelvis, rather than tilting forward which dumps into the lower back, is sitting upright. The tailbone is lengthening down. So adjust your feet accordingly. Let's press the hands onto the inner thighs, gently splaying them apart. Dip your right shoulder forward as I mirror you here. And look over your left shoulder for a spinal twist, a few breaths. Inhale to center, straighten the legs, come on up. And exhale, rebend the knees, splay the thighs apart. Inhale, stretch the spine, but lower your pelvis. Exhale, dip the left shoulder forward and look over the right, twist. A few breaths. Inhale through center. Exhale to rise. Let's take one more gentle movement here. Keep the turn out of your legs, equally root down to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms apart and join the palms at the top. Exhale, press the palms downward as though sort of releasing anything or grounding. Bend the knees apart. Inhale, straighten the legs as you sweep the arms forward like you're inviting something into your heart center. Exhale, rebend the knees and press the palms out to your left and right, straightening the arms wide. Feel the energy of these gestures. Inhale, open sky above, straight legs. Exhale, grounding earth below, bent knees. Inhale, straight legs, inviting into your heart center. Maybe remember your intention for this practice. Exhale, bend the knees and splay the arms as though you're sending the fruits of your practice out to share with the world around you. Inhale, open sky above. Exhale, grounding earth below. Inhale, invitation to the heart. Exhale, expand and share it out. Last time, inhale, open sky above. Exhale, grounding earth below. Inhale, inviting to the heart. Exhale, expand and share. And then from here, start to make your way all the way down to sit as we continue with our yin and restorative postures. Let's start by bending the left knee, creating an open angle between your thighs that is obtuse or wider than a 90-degree angle. And take your strap, place it around the ball of your right foot flexed. And we're going to take a side bend here. So you may want to have your pillow, your bolster just on the outer side of your right leg, just against it. You might also stack another pillow or your blanket or blocks on top, just in case you might lean into that as we side bend. All right, flex your right foot and kick the strap away. Hold the strap in your left hand. So right foot in the strap, left hand holding the strap. Press down to your left and right sitting bones and lift up the spine as you breathe in, but relax the shoulders down. Bring the left arm overhead and exhale. Right hand is on the inside of the right thigh on the floor. Start to side bend to your right. Pause as you inhale. Press down through the pelvis. Stretch both the left and right sides of your torso. And then exhale, see if you might be able to side bend a little more. So the left hand is walking closer to the right foot on the strap, closer and closer. Now, you might arrange your props so that you can rest your right ear on the block or whatever can catch you. You've got to get creative with how you're using your props here so that this becomes more of a restorative posture. Ultimately, you can let go of the strap. You can rest the left arm over your skull. And we're going to be here for another minute and a half. Deep breaths. So in light of practicing harmony when you're in a posture, notice what's coming up for you, whether it's sensations in your body like tension or resistance or a release or an opening? Can you observe it all without judging it? And can you just be with it? Be with the comings and goings of sensations happening. Just like the breath, just like sensations and thoughts, our body itself is fluid as well and always changing. And all its imperfections, can you notice the beauty of it? One more deep breath here. All right, start to slowly lift your torso upright. Take a moment to pause sitting up and just let your torso unwind from that as you're noticing what you feel in it. Yin and restorative yoga teaches us to slow down and to be more and more observant of details, subtleties that we might miss or take for granted when we're continuously in movement. So take a moment to notice what you are able to notice by pausing. Stay attuned to your breathing. And let's remove the strap from your right foot and place it around the ball of your left foot. Bending your right knee, straighten your left leg, and transfer your props just beside the outside of your left leg. As you hold the strap in your right hand, flex your left foot in the strap while kicking the strap away. Rooting down to your left and right sitting bones, place the left hand on the floor on the inside of your left thigh. Bring your right arm overhead, and as you press the pelvis down, breathe in and lift the spine, stretch it tall, relax your shoulders. Breathe out, begin to side bend to your left, walking the right hand closer to your left foot on the strap. Pause as you inhale and press the pelvis down some more while stretching both the left and the right sides of your torso. Exhale, see if you might be able to side bend a little more. So breath by breath as you explore your range of motion, we're just using the strap sort of as like a training wheel or a scaffolding. Because eventually, as you find your range of motion that you're going to be still in, you can configure your props so that your body, your torso and head are resting on the props, and you can let go of the strap. The right arm is resting on your skull. And then from there, let's embrace the stillness, giving us a chance to be even more observant for another minute and a half. And last 2 breaths here. Take your time to slowly lift your torso upright. And then just pause when your spine is upright again. Observe, notice your body, what's there to pay attention to. Notice your mind, what's arising for you. And if the judgment mind starts to come out to play, just say, it's all right, I got this. Let it go. All right, we're going to come into a couple more wide-legged postures, starting with Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So from here, bend your knees apart and bring the soles of your feet together. And choose whatever props you might use to catch your forehead. You could place a prop sort of slanted on your inner feet and then rest the forehead there, or you can stack a couple of blocks. Make sure that your props are high enough so that when you're bowing forward, you're not rounding your shoulders, which cuts off the breath and tenses up the upper back. But you're still able to relax the shoulders, keep the throat open, and have a relatively long, spacious spine. You can notice by how you're breathing when you get into that posture, if you need to adjust anything. So you can explore whether your heels are very close to your groins or they're very far away from your groins as you get a different stretch in different areas. So see what your body needs and then set up your props. You might be very generous with your props to start because it's always easier to peel off layers than it is to find what you need to add. And then root down to your sitting bones, and as you breathe in, lift the spine. Relax the shoulders, open your throat and chest. And as you breathe out, begin to hinge forward. Take it breath by breath, finding your range in which you might need to adjust the configuration of your props. You might even notice that after several breaths of being in the posture that you can shed more props as your body might enter the posture deeper. All right, for now, make any adjustments so that you can commit to being still and present for 2 minutes. One more deep breath where you are. And then very slowly, try to move gradually and gently. Press your hands into the ground and slowly lift your head, your spine, all the way up to sit. Pausing there, you might stretch the legs forward and just sit tall. Notice what there is to notice as you feel your breathing. How is your body responding to those series of postures? How does your energy feel right now? Before we take one last wide-legged hip opening pose, let's do a counter pose, a seated spinal twist. So with your left leg extended in front of you, bend your right knee and step the foot on the ground in front of your right hip. Or you can go further and cross the foot outside your left knee. Or you can go further and bend the left knee too. Just make sure you're choosing the setup that allows your two sitting bones to root down evenly and your spine is tall, body is relaxed. Place your right hand behind your pelvis and raise your left arm. Press downward to your legs and pelvis to stretch the spine upward as you breathe in. Exhale, begin to rotate your rib cage to the right side. Lower your left arm to hold your right leg, or hook the left elbow outside the right thigh. Breath by breath, pressing down to stretch the spine up and relaxing deeper into the twist. We're going to be exploring this for a couple of minutes. Sense the inflow and outflow of the breath. Spinal twists can be helpful ways to release stagnancy. Physically, energetically, mentally, emotionally. Gets things moving. Couple last breaths here. On your exhalation, unwind your spine, straighten the legs in front of you and pause. Allow a few breaths to digest and integrate. Do you feel anything different along the left and right sides of your torso or hips? Keep the breath deeply moving. And let's bend the left knee. If you can, set up similarly on your second side. Step the foot in front of the left hip or cross it outside of your right thigh, where you might also bend your right knee. Place the left hand behind your pelvis. Press into the earth and stretch the spine up as you breathe in. Exhale, begin to twist to your left and lower your right arm to hold your left leg, or hook the elbow outside the thigh. Continue with each breath to root down and lift up and soften deeper into the twist. One more deep breath. And unwind your spine. Again, like straight in front of you, sit tall and observe. So let's enter our last wide-legged posture, straddling the legs wide. Now, if you tend to round the back when you're sitting this way, you could take your pillow, blocks, or folded blanket and sit towards the front edge of it. And at the same time, lift your frontal hip bones. Now grab either your pillow or whatever's left of your props, place that in front of you. You could create an incline with your two blocks underneath the furthest end of the pillow so that the lowest part of the incline is touching your pelvis like this, allowing you to bear hug the pillow when we fold forward. And then you can always shed off any layers of props that you won't need once you're there. Let's take a moment as you're sitting tall to place your hands at the creases of your hips, cup the tops of your thighs, and rotate your inner thighs back so that your sitting bones are rooting straight downward rather than tilting back behind you. So you want to get the pelvis upright rather than spilling the pelvis forward to start. Try to keep your knees pointing straight up. It might help to flex your feet in order to do that. And then place the hands in front of you, and as you press the pelvis down, stretch your spine up, relax the shoulders down. Remember to try to keep open in your neck, shoulders, chest, long spine. As you exhale, begin to bow. Little by little. We're going to be here the longest of all our restorative postures so far. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. And as you're coming down, as I mentioned, feel free to rearrange the configuration of your props so that you can feel fully supported at your capacity where you can embrace stillness. And then let go of effort. So try to relax the arms where you're not holding your body up in the pose, but rather you're surrendering to be held in the pose. And what you've encountered so far throughout this practice, how are you bringing a conscious approach to cultivating harmony within your mind, what you're focusing on, holding space for the wide range of emotions and sensations coming and going, in all the dimensions of your being. I think a huge part of cultivating harmony is practicing that non-judgmental attitude, especially towards ourselves. Acknowledging our imperfections with grace, with love. Doesn't mean we don't take responsibility for our mistakes or try to make improvements. But we can hold ourselves and each other in loving awareness. One more deep clearing exhalation here. Be very gentle as you start to lift your torso upright. Take it slowly. Notice the sensations as you're transitioning out of the pose. And if you've been flexing your feet quite a bit, make sure that you're relaxing that. And sit in a way you can be still for a few breaths and just observe yourself come out of that asana. I'm going to invite you now into one more pranayama practice, which is a very useful one in times that we lose sight of patience or practicing harmony or letting go of judgment. This is a very helpful breathing technique to bring us back into that state of, oh yeah, that's right. Practice living awareness. And it's called Samavriti Pranayama. It's a very simple one, easy to remember, especially in moments that we might be overwhelmed with emotions. It's practiced by breathing in for a count of 4, holding the breath while relaxing for a count of 4, breathing out for a count of 4, and holding the breath while relaxing for a count of 4. So that's one cycle of box breathing. Let's practice 3 cycles together and 3 cycles on your own, and then let go of controlling the breath and observe how you feel. So sit in a way that you can feel relaxed, alert, grounded. A mudra for inviting grounding energy is thumb and index fingers touching, palms face down, if you could use that. Maybe close the eyes if it works for you, and let's continue breathing just through the nose. So empty this breath to prepare. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Second cycle, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. And when you finish, let go of controlling your breathing. Observe anything you feel. And as you're ready to, gradually lower your body to the ground where you can completely relax in stillness, letting go of all effort, including in the breath, closing the eyes and resting in Shavasana for a few minutes before our 10 minutes of guided seated meditation. As you rest here a little longer with your eyes still closed, you observe your body. Does it feel any different from when you started this practice? Little by little, listen to how your body wants to move and gently begin to wake it up. Taking your time, turn over onto your right side and rest your head. Pause to witness the natural flow of your breath now. How does your energy feel? Has it shifted in any way since the beginning of this practice? As you feel ready, slowly lift your body up. Find a comfortable way in which you can sit tall, relaxed, and grounded for a guided 10 minutes of meditation. You might position your hands in a mudra that helps you to concentrate, such as stacking the palms face up on the center of your lap, thumb tips touching. And let's take a moment here to choose either to close your eyes or steady a gentle downcast gaze, whatever allows you to let your attention go inward. As we talk about wabi-sabi and honoring the beauty of imperfection, I find it really helpful to let go of self-judgment and criticism by bringing a sense of humor and lightheartedness, including in focusing our minds for meditation. So see if you can relax the face. Let's start with the physical body. Let the eyes soften. Let the mouth, the jaw, the tongue relax. You might even slightly tilt the corners of your lips up into a very subtle and gentle smile, which evokes the energy of openness, lightheartedness. Bring your awareness down your body slowly as you let the shoulders soften down. Feel the length and lightness of your neck. Feel the width and lightness of your chest. Allow your belly to soften, your pelvic floor to relax. Feel the weight of your two shoulders and arms as you soften all the way down to your fingertips of each hand. Allow your legs to relax as you scan down your hips, thighs, knees, shins, calves, all the way down to your ankles and feet. Let the bottoms of your feet soften. Feel a lightness throughout your physical body and even the energy emanating from your body, surrounding you. Bring that lightness into your mind so that rather than trying to focus, you're relaxing and resting into focus. You might think of it as doing less rather than doing more. You might gently rest your awareness on the very subtle movement of the breath. Maybe it's the rise and fall of your chest. Maybe it's the feeling of the air through your nostrils. Pick a spot on your body and let your attention very gently rest there to sense the subtle moving of the breath. If your mind starts to do, like run after a stimulus, such as a sound or a thought, thank that stimulus, thank that thought as a mindfulness bell that reminds you to relax the mind back into gentle awareness of the breath. No matter how many times you need to, find the delight in returning back to that gentle awareness. Sense how it feels to come home to yourself over and over each time you let go of chasing after thoughts, chasing after stimuli. Notice how your mind feels. Notice how your heart feels now. As we bring our practice to a close, what can you integrate into your daily life? The informal, meaningful way of practicing meditation when you're not sitting on a cushion or your yoga mat. Can you bring this attitude of non-judgment in how you cultivate harmony with those around you? Let's take a moment to close with a thought of gratitude, recognizing someone or something that you appreciate. And then come back to your intention for this practice. And remember that someone or something you dedicated your practice to. And together, as we chant Om 3 times to close, sense the resonance that we've created together in sharing our practice as something you're singing out into the life around you, sort of sharing the vibration of it, as well as integrating it within you. Let in a deep breath. And bowing in towards your heart center, honoring the teacher within, the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.